Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Understanding Platinum in 2021. Let's explore. I have seen more interest in Platinum about in the comment section of my videos and in the community. You know, we have seen it greatly increase in price over the past year, and with other metals reaching all-time highs in terms of real dollars, such as gold, palladium, and rhodium, well, it makes sense that people would be kind of taking interest in some of these other metals that many of us feel are undervalued. Some people say silver is undervalued, but when you take a look at several different factors, one can make a pretty cogent argument as to why platinum is undervalued. But in order to really take advantage of the market that we are seeing with platinum's rising prices and potential, we have to kind of come to grips with its shortfalls as well as its benefits as a precious metal. Now, you may remember I posted a series of videos about why I love all of the different precious metals and even some base metals in a series. And I talk about the platinum group metals, which are referred to as the fringe precious metals. In other words, what makes a metal precious is not so much the fact that it has been seen as money for thousands of years, but it's the fact that it's rare and it's expensive. And really those kind of are the guidelines to what constitutes a precious metal. Gold and silver are very unique in that they are traded both as commodities and as stores of value and as money. Can the same be said for the platinum group metals? I think to some degree it can, but there is a difference here. Platinum, being the most recognized of the platinum group metals, is a metal that has seen some quite extensive price volatility. It's an industrial metal with uses ranging from the applications in the technology and in industry to healthcare and jewelry. But the biggest demand driver for the metal is in the automotive industry, just as it is the case with palladium. Although when we think of palladium and platinum, it's easy to get confused, but typically palladium has a much better catalyst for gasoline-powered engines, whereas platinum is used mostly for diesel engines. And we saw what happened with Volkswagen in 2015, and because of what happened there, we saw the platinum price, well, essentially kind of plummet since then and go down dramatically. But it accounts for roughly 1/3 of global demand during the past 5 years as a catalyst. That's according to the World Platinum Investment Council. So this is something to take into consideration. That one use alone as a catalyst accounts for 1/3 of the global demand. It's rarer and harder to mine than gold, since it is found deeper in the Earth's core. Now, I've heard talk about how platinum is actually more abundant in the Earth's crust, but that probably is down deeper in the Earth's core, which makes it tougher to mine and to pull out, which is why it is a rare precious metal above ground than it is below the ground. Some say it's between 20 and 30 times rarer than gold. And it does come from essentially two places overall in any great quantities, and that is South Africa and Russia. And their political stability is something that is in question, and it comes into play with the price for the metal as well. So essentially what happens if you have a constant supply of the metal during stable times in both those places, well, that leads to a lower price because the flow of the metal is at least predictable. And so if a government is weak or there is some unrest in any of those two places, or there's a problem with with a mine, a logistical problem, or a safety issue, well, then you're going to cause the price to go up. The volatility is derived off of those factors, play a bigger role than other metals such as gold and silver that are mined in various parts of the world. So it's a concentrated supply, and which means that the price is very volatile. And we saw, like, you know, in the last part of last year, the fourth quarter, the demand for platinum increased as the global economy began recovering from the pandemic, and that could continue to come into play, and which means that could drive the price upwards as we head further into 2021. There's a trend for that to continue this year. In fact, platinum greatly increased above gold, but that fell over the past couple of months here. And so there are opportunities for investing in platinum in that regard, but you have to understand the risks that are at play, and they are much more volatile for reasons we mentioned. For example, after climbing greatly between 2007 and mid-2008, right at the height of the crisis, financial crisis, it outperformed gold by as much as 65%. The price of platinum then plummeted by more than 60% between May and December of 2008, and it ended the year almost in line with gold in terms of price. And then ever since then, it's been trading below the price of gold. And so it is something that you have to take into account. Even though it's rarer than gold above ground, it is still less than the price of gold. But it is catching up. And some people say, myself included, thinks that really platinum should be higher than the price of gold. Shoot, if palladium can do it, why can't platinum? So I believe there's room to move between platinum for platinum group metals in general, but especially platinum. Now, palladium is more rare than platinum, but I believe really the difference is somewhat negligible when you take into account how rare platinum is compared to gold. And again, rarity really does not necessarily mean that is the ultimate driver for the price of any commodity. It can play a role because obviously if there's great demand for it and there's very little supply, well, that's going to cause the price to go up. And so that into account, you know, platinum is a very interesting metal. One thing that is timeless about platinum is it doesn't matter when you accumulate it. The metal is what it is. It has very unique properties. It's extremely dense. It's the densest of all the precious metals that are tracked on the commodities exchanges or priced. Platinum is very dense, denser than gold, and it's an attractive metal in its own right. Here you see two examples of a platinum coin, one in proof and one in uncirculated condition here, and you can see the difference. Obviously, what you would see in normal proof versus uncirculated examples. Very, very lovely, and but it's somewhat of a duller color. But the dullness is that's probably not the correct word. It just has a deeper luster, I would say, perhaps a deeper luster to it than other metals out there. But platinum is, I believe, it's an attractive metal, and I love the density of it, and I think that that alone, I believe, kind of gives it a very unique properties as a catalyst. In fact, the platinum group metals all have relative densities, atomic structures that make them very much an attractive metal for those usages. So it is something to consider here. Is it a good investment? I would say probably it's up to you and your risk tolerance as to whether it's a good investment or not. I think that if you bought, like I did, I bought this 2020 platinum coin for, I think, around $700 when platinum was trading around 600 and some odd dollars. And considering where it is today, that was a really good investment. But I think that's just it. You have to take it as an investment that comes with risks. It does not pay dividends. It has a somewhat shaky intrinsic value, but it does have intrinsic value. But I don't think it's as stable as gold or silver. And but there are times, there's a bar that I bought probably in the early 2000s that I paid almost $1,500 for, somewhere along that time frame. I'm still underwater with that particular bar, but by and large, you buy it with the hopes that it may keep its return in due course, and I think that time is a good, will be kind. I believe that time will be kind with platinum, just as I believe it will be with silver. And silver is known to be more volatile than gold. Platinum, even much more volatile than silver. So there you have it. You have to take that into account. But I believe, if you're interested or curious in having a different metal in your portfolio, I think platinum is a great example to have that's just liquid enough. I think palladium is a little bit less liquid. Rhodium, even much more less liquid. In fact, I've covered that metal on my channel about trying to sell the 1 ounce I had, how easy or hard it would be to do. Much less liquid. Platinum is the most liquid of the platinum group metals, and fringe precious metals, the category to which I refer. It's a beautiful metal. I will continue to accumulate it. Maybe not nearly as much. Last year, I think I accumulated more platinum than I had in any other year before. So I'm sort of on a pause on buying right now, but a part of me does feel it's still somewhat undervalued. And if I do see a good deal in a platinum coin that's attractive, that I like, well, I may just pick it up. To me, this Proof Platinum Eagle is one of the most beautiful platinum coins I've ever seen from the United States. I love that eagle and the cornucopia, the bounty of what America is about. Wonderfully designed, I think. And it has the iconic Statue of Liberty on the obverse side here. But nonetheless, it is a very interesting and in many cases misunderstood precious metal. And I know I'm going to get in the comment section below. I'm going to stick with gold and silver. And I don't blame you one bit, for sure. This video is not indicated to, to sway your opinion one way or another. I just think it's a fascinating metal, and only think it might be a good idea to diversify if it's of something that is of interest to you, for you. I believe that depending on when you buy it and how you buy it, and look at the track record, you can do well. If I were to sell the platinum that I bought last year in 2020 today, I would come out way ahead. I'd do very well. But, I'm also a collector too, so that's another factor that has to come into play when you're buying. If you enjoy something, this piece here, this 2005 Proof Platinum Eagle, is a piece that I bought for my collection. I enjoy it in that regard. So there you have it. So post your thoughts below on what you think about platinum, and if it's something that you're considering or have considered, and if you want to continue to accumulate it, or if you feel like you have a pretty good understanding of the metal. Let me know in the comment section below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.